Squid, and you're joining me today for one stunning best of three. It's not me and me alone, of course. I'm joined by Flakes. How are you doing?
Wonderful, thanks. Looking forward to diving into this one. Of course, it is the Bulgarians versus the Finnish, and quite a historic matchup, to be honest. You know, we've actually seen HAVU versus SKADE, or a mixture of these teams play many a time before, and it's always actually been quite the best of three. So, looking forward to diving into this one, to be honest.
I think that we've had multiple pretty decent maps, both between these two teams and previously in the week also. We've seen lots and lots of really contentious best of threes. I think we had me and G.
Looks like our first map is going to be Nuke as well, which is, hell, that's even more of a positive.
Nuke's always phenomenal. Do like it. I haven't actually broken down what the maps are going to be in this series. I'd like to see them. See them anywhere. What are they, Flakes? Do you know? Are you more informed than I?
I'm pretty
have
sure
got
you probably
are.
the Magic HLTV, which has filled it in for me, and it's actually quite the map pool for this best of three. So we're going to kick things off with a little bit of fancy Nuke. Of course, that has been brought into the fray by the Finnish side of HAVU. Then SKADE, the Bulgarians, have opted for Overpass, and then we'll finish things off with our third and final Dust 2, if we have to head that way.
So I'll let everybody in at home into a little dirty secret. I did just crack open a nice pre-show Monster Energy, but that doesn't really prepare you for the veto process, does it? I feel like the veto isn't something that you need to have bags of energy for. You just have to have a little bit of information, and I don't actually have that. But yeah, Nuke, Overpass, Dust 2, interesting maps, especially Overpass. It's my favorite map to cast. I think it's got a really interesting dynamic to it where both teams, it's all about taking map control. I think that that's something that me and you last time that we watched Overpass was actually a bit critical of different teams. I'm sure that we won't see that happen here. Two teams who really decently know how to play that CT side of the map. And that's why we've seen two CT-sided maps actually come into the pool first and second, of course, with Nuke and Overpass. Dust 2 being that decider. But, Flakes, it's enough from us. I think we've got to watch some Counter-Strike now.
Yeah, looking like we are going to get ourselves ready to go for this one. No time to crack open any more Cold One Squid. The game is alive. And well, we're going to start things off with a little bit of good old stabby. Which on Nuke is actually surprisingly important. It's one of those maps where, unlike Dust 2, for example, a knife round can actually be quite impactful.
Which is exactly why you're going to cast it, right?
No. Nope. I mean, good try, but that's a hard pass from me. Today is not that day, Chief.
It's not in his contract. He doesn't do it. Look at how many times HAVU have actually played Nuke, and this is over the last 3 months. So they're averaging playing Nuke at least once every 3 days. That's pretty unbelievable.
Look at that win rate for SKADE. That is...
Oh, that's pretty
that needs some work.
Yep. I don't think they're going to get a break right now because HAVU are one of the best teams from the region, especially at this online level at this map. So it's going to be a pretty rough opening, I think, for SKADE.
Well, I think the benefit of being at a win rate of 14% is basically you can only get better.
It's not going down,
It can't get much worse than that, can it?
We'll all start with a pistol round in just a few moments. Quick pause, just so we can hype up this game, get everybody nice and excited. I think you should hit us with some of your best hype, Flakes.
Some of the best. I mean, I'm waiting for that Red Bull to kick in right now. I'm on the same sort of train you're in. So,
well, you've promoted lots of energy drinks. I've also got a Lucasade right next to me, so it literally is.
There are many different
your
energy
local equivalent.
Many available. Lucasade, Red Bull, Monster. I'm sure there's supermarket own brand on the table too.
We
I
was over in Hungary, and I don't know if you've ever been to Hungary before. I was in Budapest. They were giving out these energy drinks that literally cost like 30p.
We have them in the UK too. You can go to corner
really
shop and buy like Boost or something for like 29p.
I can't remember the name of this brand.
I just can't help but feel like when you're buying an energy drink for 29p, you know, when you look at it, a Monster or a Red Bull, etc. Let's be honest, we all know they're kind of not great, right? There are some things in those drinks that are gonna mess up your insides. Let's put it like that.
So the other funny thing, by the way, about
29p
this
a can.
energy.
What the hell's
Yeah.
in 29p a can? Like, what are you putting in your body there? Like,
I don't think anybody knows. I don't even think it's written on the back. You know, the
Fewer
funny thing
chemicals.
about this energy drink as well, this other one that I was talking about from Hungary, is they had massive ads. They had a huge ad campaign, and it pretty much forced Red Bull out of the market in that particular area. And basically Bruce Willis like featured on the advert, and he was basically doing the whole tough guy drinking energy drink sort of ad, and it was. I did watch it. It was a very funny looking ad. He had obviously just been ushered
is it
in
Hell
there.
Energy Drink? I've done some.
Yeah,
Googling
it is.
to
It is
see,
Hell Energy Drink. Yes, it is. Yeah.
There you go. My Google CSI skills paying some dividends there.
So yeah, if you're in Hungary, I would. Oh, I'm sure it's in some other countries as well, but I know Hungary's one of them. You should definitely go and check that out. They're not paying me to
Adverts
say
are
that.
the creepiest things I've ever seen.
They're
Just got Bruce
so
Willis's
weird.
face
They're like
stapled on the
infamous
side
in
of a cardboard
Hungary.
box. Whoever thought that through has made a fatal flaw. That's going to give some kids some nightmares.
I'm surprised that hasn't like crept out into the open, because Bruce Willis is like a very, very famous guy. I'm surprised when he goes on like one of these late night shows or something that he doesn't get like thrown in at the deep end with this advert. I guess they're all scared of him. They're scared that he's going to punch him in the face. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think that's safe for screen. What you just sent me.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not safe for stream, but I think that's going to traumatize some kids in their lifetime, just strolling through their local supermarket or corner store, and then you just see Bruce Willis's face like kind of morphed out of proportion on the side of a cardboard box. That's it's
So
different.
just for
I'll give it that.
everybody's information at home, Flake's just sent me a picture of Bruce Willis that is going to keep me up tonight, along with all the energy drinks I'm drinking.
I feel like just to add some further context, that it's a picture of Bruce Willis on the promotional box for this energy drink. Let me just clarify that for a second there.
Yeah, it is. We've
Wow.
apparently got a lot of people in this Twitch chat ready and waiting. And I know, because I am one of the... I don't know if I'm in the minority, I'm pretty sure that I am, who keeps the Twitch chat open just to see what the fans are thinking.
I think it's always good fun in these little online casts, especially when it's, we've got some shenanigans going on like we have now. It's good to keep it open. Gives us the opportunity to chat with you guys at home as we get ourselves ready to go. What I can say is it looks like we're getting ever so close to getting ready to kick things off. SKADE just had a few connection problems, it seems. I believe Rocking was struggling to get into the game, but I can see he has appeared and I can hear lots of typing and whatnot in the chat. So hopefully that means it'll be unpausing sometime soon.
So I think one of the interesting things is this SKADE side, their players have been pretty fundamentally decent on overpass for the last few years right now. Spell and Rocking, back when they were playing with Cirque, of course, now famously in the EG team, they played overpass all the time. It was pretty much their number one map, their go-to. That was definitely more about Cirque than anybody else in that roster. He was certainly the star who's now flown abroad to be one of the best in the West. However, we are going to get into this pistol round, and it's going to be a fast start from SKADE in towards this A bomb site. Only the 2 frags coming through, and SKADE have pretty much single-handedly broken inside.
Really aggressive play from them, but it's worked out so well. They've just held W out onto the site, and really no one's been there to stop them. Finally, a frag comes through for the CT side, but likely too little too late here as the bomb is ticking down rather fast. Slowy already 9 HP. This is a 3v4 and really just has recipe for disaster for the CT side. I don't think we're going to see anything here from HAVU. This should be 1-0 for SKADE.
And that's the real danger about not putting a lot of defenders on that A bomb site. That if, especially after a tactical pause, I must say, or a technical pause, where you're ready and raring to go, you want to get into the map, it's a very slow start, you come out with that sort of pace, it definitely catches your opponents off balance. I think that's what we just saw in round 1. HAVU not ready for the aggression, can't contain it, and SKADE already trying to get that win rate up that we saw that was so poor just a moment ago here on the board. And I would say that those odds are actually quite kind to SKADE.
Yeah, and based on what I've been seeing today, just across the variety of makers available, those are definitely quite friendly. Seems like the standard odds have been much more towards sort of that 1 to 3 mark. Oh, the shotgun
towards ramp, but
gonna cause a few problems there around. That's an easy double kill for Slow to find, and ultimately money in the bank as the FAMAS looks to hold on as well. I think we're actually in a really good position here with Hoodie sat back with a deagle. He can swap for any pressure being applied his way from the SKADE side. The deagle actually not a half bad weapon here. Now, if rain does come down and start to sort of peek into him with a Krieg, life will get a little bit more complex for him. Currently, not so bad for him just to be holding that angle and spamming away. Worth noting that SKADE do have a whole minute on the clock, which means they pretty much have the ability just to be so patient and wait. And that's basically what we're seeing. They're being forced to move into the CT side, and as and when they do, they get picked apart bit by bit.
Some decent damage there. Doto taken out of the equation. And now it's attention drawn towards the 8-bomb site, but Hoodie, sensational 1-deeg. He might even finish this one off. Rocking is encroaching onto his position, and with only 20 seconds left, he wants to swiftly tap the digits into that bomb. Wants to get aggressive for this man as he misses his shots. It's going to be the double peak, and that's what's so deadly about the CT side. You get off to an early start. It's 1-1 now, SKADE. Should have been so much more. And the Reaver go for the boost to try and retrieve the rifles. Maximum benefit gain from HAVU here.
That's what we like to see. Nice and smart. Also have to give credit to Hoodie there in terms of the way he plays that. He gets the 1-deeg, which you're talking about. Much like the way he was holding towards ramp, he was holding towards upper as well. Perfect execution. I mean, what a shot. But then he doesn't get aggressive on the next play to the side. Rather than forcing the 1 versus 1 and trying to deny the plant, he just sits back and says, you have to push me, which forces his opponent to get himself out nice and out in the open effectively on the A site, and makes that 2v1 so much easier because there's nothing he can do, right? I mean, he's getting swung from that player coming in from outside and from towards vent as well.
Missing power from SKADE diminished. However, they do find the first headshot. It's Spellon knocking Zarya, the server. And now we need to see some sort of response from the CT side. Denny already getting aggressive, spotting out bits of information outside. He knows how the defense is now posted. As Saw almost caught out in the open. HAVU lucky to not be 2 players down here. However, SKADE's not forcing the issue. They're not aggressively moving into any of these angles, and Saw might have the information, but it's SKADE finding all the frags.
So just looking a little bit unfortunate, to be honest, for the HAVU side. Yeah, any of these duels weren't really working out for them. Oh, they're going to pick up a kill or 2, but even then, the trades are just coming through thick and fast. HAVU left with just slowing now, 10 HP. Versus the combined, what, 240 of SKADE in a 4-on-1? I think it's fair to say that this round is done. It's going to give it a good little save. Well and truly over into spawn there. Just going to try and carry that M4A1S through into round number 4.
That round just seemed to be HAVU missing all the duels. SKADE obviously initially catching Zarya off guard. Early Xylo boost takes him completely out of the equation. And HAVU have no response based off that. If they were rich enough to be able to get that AWP out in the early portion of this 3rd round, then maybe they would have been able to fire back through and actually level up the numbers. You could see that they were kind of desperately looking for that follow-up kill just to try and level it out ever so slightly, but SKADE just standing their ground. Usually you might see a flustered T side get really sporadic off the back of that and try and instantly rush a bomb site, lose their ground. But SKADE there, very content with their position. They were able to just eke out the kills. And HAVU, there was no response. We probably won't see too much of an investment here. It'll be the pistols. Full force, apparently, from HAVU. Not wanting to let SKADE get too many rounds on the board here. It'll just be the pistols. SMG out. Of course, Slowy's got that saved M4 from round number 3. And SKADE looking to hold their serve here in round number 4.
Has to be said, this really probably isn't going the way that HAVU expected the early game to unfold, to be honest. With SKADE already having this 2-1 lead and potentially the opportunity to build up 3-1 and 4-1 respectively, I think HAVU and associated coaches are going to be quite concerned. So I'm not surprised to see this force-up come through. But it's ballsy. It really has to work, otherwise you're really doubling down on it. And I think you're going to be quite shocked at the results if it doesn't go their way. And not a good start either, with that first pick towards outside once more coming up on top for SKADE here. Looking also very well prepared, has to be said. We'll see Slowy able to bag himself not only one, but a second kill as he relocates through outside here, just catching rocking towards Silo. He maneuvers himself around to a much more defensive position. Seems like very patient play here from SKADE, who I would imagine will start to eye up a route towards the B site here, crunching in from the likes of Ramp. Potentially some support coming in from Secret, but it looks like they will relinquish all and any Secret presence and rely purely now on what can be achieved through Ramp or potentially even the A site with Spellin making his advantage straight through door, but that'll be immediately shut down by the CT side, leaving the train 1 man against 3. He makes a swing. Immediately met by Slowy, and that's job done for HAVU. They keep themselves in the game.
Yeah, unfortunate stuff from SKADE there. They kind of got wrapped in by the rifles. You saw Rain only had 10 seconds left to make a play on the A-bomb site. Just not enough time to get anything moving or going. HAVU living and dying off those opening picks. You saw Slowy initially stand his ground outside, finding those first 2, but then not sticking around for the fun. He rotates over towards Ramp, even steals away another kill before SKADE are forced to backtrack towards the A-bomb site. Really works out for the HAVU side here. They didn't have much investment going into that 4th round, but really being able to pull it through and make it work. And it's down to this Krieg outside, picked up by Doto in the previous. He's going to try and tap the faces off, but they've allowed SKADE to get so aggressive outside. Saul's going to be challenged in a couple of moments towards a secret position. Spellin's got to be careful that he's not giving away any shadows, any audio cues, but the kill's coming through, and this might just prompt players out of position. And Spellin needs to keep his AK-47 out, gets caught on the angle. Saw intelligent stuff.
Spellin almost caught napping there, just in position, I think, to actually do something in the duel, but seemingly does not quite on the ball. A lot of different routes, though, that SKADE can take towards the site, but all of them currently contested by HAVU. Next in line will be Slowy towards Ramp, who will smoke things off and then hopefully throws a defensive flash. Maybe aware just how close they are, but unfortunately, he's none the wiser, which means immediately punished by Rain, who just pushes up, gets the job done, and leaves it all on Saul to try and defend against his onslaught of players coming his way. But job is a good one. He just cuts through them like a sharp blade, working its way through warm butter. HAVU making that look easy, forcing SKADE back onto the pistols.
You saw in those positions, though, I'm actually kind of surprised that HAVU get away relatively clean. Slowy and Doto were both caught off guard, especially towards Secret. SKADE managing to wipe up players out of this server, and it is going to be 3-2. HAVU now stabilizing on the CT side. And the Molotov's going to come down towards the A-bomb site. This is going to be a very easy, clean round. I'm very sure of that. Doto, Uni finding the headshots. As the kills now come in. SKADE, I think, are now going to get wrapped out of the server. The bomb did find its way down towards the B bomb site, but no opportunity to plant. HAVU nicely contesting that one, and that's really the bread and butter on the CT side of Nuke. Having those rounds in the pocket as clean and concise as possible obviously is going to build up your money. You can see that HAVU is certainly benefiting off that. They're all sat above this 2,000 mark, most of which at this $4,000 to $5,000 buffer, and that's a residual buy. So 4 to 2, SKADE back with the rifles in hand. They need to do some damage in the 7th.
Definitely would like to see SKADE showing a bit more skin in these rounds, and so far so good. RAFTU finding a frag there on Dodo towards outside. More work to be done though as the execute comes into play. That's 3 smokes used towards outside, creating this line of smokes that you see here just on the right hand side of your camera. They will eventually fade, those front 2, but for now that does mean they could get close to secret. But what you'll notice is that SKADE used all those smokes and gained absolutely no ground for it. Dotto fell early on, and every other player really didn't get pushed back or really anything from the HAVU side, and likewise for SKADE, they got no one into secret. So potentially a bit of a lost situation there, but I think getting the frag at least makes it somewhat workable. Problem is that lack of map control means that they have to start clearing these angles, and that opens them up to be whittled down by the HAVU side. Case in point is the loss of Spellin, who leads us here. 40 seconds on the clock, and once more, SKADE have nothing to go off. It's an aggression from the CT side that seems to be causing problems for them, as rocking back-to-back headshots towards the inside of A there. Surely this should be a free round for SKADE now, leaving Saw just 1 man against 3. Rocky is dangerously low, but even so, you'd like to think this round is very much secure.
Saw though, he's going to try and put in his best effort. He's got a 1v3 on the card, and Rocking's very low on HP. If you can find him early here, then maybe, but Rainwaker successfully holds up the fight, and that round really turned on a dime right there.
LOOT.BET, made for live betting.
We saw inside towards main. SKADE picking up just a hat trick, a buffet of frags opening up. It seemed like HAVU had every advantage. Spellin had dropped the C4 over in mid-main. HAVU, they had clawed all the way on top of it. I'd love to see them use that second level within main and sit climbing that ladder, just looking down onto the SKADE side as they moved in, but contentiously taking those corners. It was 3 out of 3 frags found for the SKADE side. And then they were able to pile drive that A-bomb site. Right now, HAVU fairly low on economy. Slowly is being leveled back to this UMP. Wanted to subvert that by getting aggressive, playing close to SKADE's face, but that's not going to work out. He's going to be forced back by the smokes. Holding over by ramp as we see a stalemate with a minute to go.
Damage done here with the UMP. Combine that with Reed's AWP, and he can basically just repeat for days here. The complex thing is that molly just forces him so far back. What's rough though is that SKADE are actually going to try to chase him down, which is ballsy to say the least. Thankfully, RAFTU finds Dotto elsewhere, so that should cause them to double back and actually just get on towards A, but could have went slightly differently for them if they weren't too careful. Bomb, it's going to tick its way down. Looking fairly comfortable here for SKADE. We'll see Saw and Co. just try to clear a couple of things out, a couple of the basic angles, but little to no knowledge. They can immediately begin their retreat here now, as it's way too deep into the round to really have a solid crack at a retake. This will mean that SKADE ultimately equalize Squid. Keeping this game very close, which actually I think is quite the surprise for many a fan, to be honest.
Yeah, again, SKADE turning the tide of that round. You saw that they actually lost the initial battle towards ramp there, actually being tagged by the smoke. That allowed Zori with the AWP to just move through hell and actually assume that angle before the real meat of the push came through. SKADE lost a couple of members just to the UMP and AWP, then reverted towards the A-bomb site. Were able to pick up the unnecessary kills and HAVU finding themselves in a negative situation. And if you try and feel out that defense and can't find any return frags, it's so difficult, near on impossible to find that retake. Rainwaker here in the 9th, finding up the first. Denny even picking up a headshot as well, and this seems as good as gone. HAVU, they're not posting one of these lightning fast, rock solid CT sides that we're used to seeing from them. They might just be trying to bank cash for round number 10, but they're hemorrhaging rounds right now. And they're used to putting together the bulk of their roundage on this CT side. And right now, SKADE are beating them to the punch. 5-4 on the T side with a point ahead.
Credit to them as well. Being able to rack up rounds the way they are on their T side is, I think, it'll be a huge boon for them throughout this game. Overall, a much closer affair than I think we all imagined, but let's see how it continues to play out over time here. As we're going to see Saw try and get himself tucked in, but it gets a little hot and heavy. He has to retreat into vent as mollies and smokes all come his way. SKADE, of course, making a whole bunch of noise towards outside, but not really committing to anything. Instead, they will just back away, leaving that one player there to continue to fight. In fact, they're actually going to abandon it completely now. This is where they all bunch up. You can see Rocking being the point man here as they get ready for this push through towards the A site. Molotov set up as well, so the full execute is effectively here. Denny, his sole purpose right now is just to hold the flank and immediately join up with his team towards inside as the push comes through. So far, not so good, as Hoodie pulls a double kill out of the bag. His teammate finds a third as well. Make that a fourth. It is death and destruction. That's how you find every single frag required to shut down as they execute.
First time they've done that in a while. SKADE have really been just rolling over this defense over the last couple of rounds, finding all those opening frags, being able to clean it up fairly decisively. 5-5 on the board, and momentum back on the side of HAVU. It's going to be a final buy from SKADE before they're forced to eco. A last chance saloon, perhaps, for them to just dominate this first half. They still have another chance, another opportunity. Denny's going to be taking the AWP outside. Obviously not going to spot anything. You see that HAVU have actually reverted to not really having much outside control. Doto's playing down in secret and just bobbing and weaving up by stairs, but no real aggressive control taken. Nobly playing up close and personal to this SKADE side. This will give outside control off and away, just with a couple of nicely placed smokes. I think my pet peeve here on Nuke is seeing the outside smokes fail, and I'm sure that we'll see it at least once this game. It seems every single time somebody whiffs one of these secret smokes. So far, SKADE have actually been pretty decisive with it, but the smokes come down, 50 seconds left. And that replay smoke is actually to make sure that they can get down towards vents. This seems to be the set play here, or at least the bait. But without squeaky door open, HAVU's going to do nothing to respond. You obviously can't pop shots through. You stood all the way out in the open. If you're doing that, 30 seconds left, and SKADE haven't really done anything just yet. It's attention towards ramp, and a perfectly placed Molotov's going to slow down the pack, and it's a complete massacre. A bunch of frags found, and Slowy's even spotted the last. Rocking stuck away in the corner, and it's going to be a 6th on the board for HAVU. A completely convincing round here in number 12.
What's also interesting about these rounds that HAVU are finding recently, they're very one-sided in comparison to those that SKADE are picking up. You know, the last 2 CT rounds have been basically HAVU completely demolishing an execute from SKADE. Whether it was what we've just seen or also just the A play that was annihilated as well by Hoodie. Hopefully this is HAVU really now gaining some speed, and we can see them start to break away a bit of a gap here between them and their terrorist counterparts, as Zuri will actually find himself the opening frag on Spellum. I was going to say, one of my pet peeves in this match as well, just generally, is that SKADE are conceding a lot of outside presence early on, and they're even using utility towards outside, but doing nothing with it.
And HAVU don't really seem easily faked by any of this. One smoke's not going to force off the entire rotation of the A bomb site. Albeit this round's just with pistols, SKADE don't really have that utility to use. I'd like to see them go for some further executes instead of just dueling and scrimming for frags. Right now, it's going to be another completely clean round from HAVU, not dropping a single player in the last 2 rounds. And SKADE, they've got to kind of lick their wounds and come up with plan B here.
Only 3 kills. That seems like quite a small amount.
Yeah, these are just the entries, remember? They're, I think, the first kill of the round.
Ah, that makes more sense. First time seeing these new fancy UI elements. I like it. It's nice.
I think UCC have done like a really snazzy job. The reason why it's the first time that you've seen it is because they're constantly innovating here. They're always throwing in little new elements like that into our shows. I think it's really cool.
Well, every day is a roll of the dice between what new features am I going to see on the broadcast. Whether it's more replays and the replays getting better. Whether it's little small things here and there, like the most recent addition, which I'm a huge fan of, is the logo and the pick on the bottom left under the minimap. That was recently revamped to be just a lot clearer for you guys at home. And also, it's just like the little details, like that bottom bar, where typically you often see for a lot of events, it's a static logo. Looks kind of boring, right? Now it's been replaced with a beautiful dynamic image, which constantly updates. A bit of animation to it, a bit of pizzazz. A lot of attention to detail, which I'm a big proponent of. Always the pleasure working with the folks at UCC because of that.
And to be perfectly honest, a lot of HUDs that a lot of other tournament organizers throw in kind of suck. They're sometimes very messy. The color dynamics don't really work, but this one seems to be one of the cleaner ones that I've seen.
Definitely, but why don't you do me a little favor here, Squid? What is there's a little gift for our viewers at home in that bottom graphic? What's that bonus code that our users can use?
I've got no idea, I'll be honest.
Oh, I was setting you up there for the perfect opportunity to plug, of course, our wonderful friends at LOOT.BET. Folks, you can use the code LEAGUE if you want to bag yourself some cheeky discounts and whatnot. Head, of course, over onto the banner underneath the stream to learn all about all things LOOT.BET. And, of course, our sponsors as well, using that bonus code LEAGUE. You can see on the bottom bar just there as HAVU. They start this round with death and destruction, showing why you too should have bet on HAVU in this match, as it is just not looking too pretty. Then he will try and bring things back, but the aggression from Saw means immediate response as SKADE now boxed in, set ablaze. Raftu 5 HP. They're going to get one player at least snuck towards ramp, potentially. But this is looking like it'll be another HAVU round and an 8-5 scoreline.
And HAVU have really stomped down on this attack as of late. Remember, this was 5-5 just a few moments ago, and it looked like SKADE were probably going to put us onto 6 or 7 before you could even say a single word about it, but HAVU, they've been going for quite prompted portions of aggression this time towards ramp, and they completely shut down this T side before they can go for any sort of executes. Once again, it's just Rockin and Raftu, and they've barely got any HP between them. Raftu especially, 5 HP for him. It's all about this B bomb site now. His ramp controller's taken a bomb on Rocking's back. But I can't see. Obviously, the nuke minimap is one of the worst in Counter-Strike, meaning that I can't actually see what the defense is like.
Not your favorite minimap of all time?
No, not necessarily. I would kind of like it to be 2 minimaps and separated between upstairs nuke and downstairs nuke. I think that would be like kind of cool. Doto, he's going to be able to jump out, pretty much single-handedly end this round.
That bomb is like the ultimate kick in the balls there for SKADE. It's literally landed perfectly at the feet of the doors. So all it means is he doesn't even have to fully open the doors to kill the person picking up. Basically granting him 2 giant orange riot shields.
What more can you ask for? It's going to be more pistols for SKADE. No more money, and that nade, it's not going to be as brutal as I thought it was going to be. Just lands off of Spellin doing 14 damage. Could have been a bit of a nuclear bomb outside. But you see, as soon as Doto gets dinked, he doesn't stick around any longer. Doesn't want to lose that AK-47. He knows that that can be an instant round pooper for them. Instead, just falling back. They want to secure this 9th. They want to guarantee it. And just allowing Sword to trade 1 for 1. Obviously, that's not the big goal here. But with rifles on all of their players, it's probably going to be an easy one unless Spellin goes crazy here.
Well, I've definitely seen some wild moments from him, but unfortunately today, seemingly not the day. Looks like towards the latter phases of this first half, things are sort of started to break up towards what I would consider more the expected scoreline, where HAVU really have been able to just break out and actually take control. Felt like early on when we were looking at sort of round 7, round 8, it was very neck and neck, and it actually felt like SKADE maybe had potential to not necessarily win out on their T side here, but have a really surprising impact, to be honest. And I think 5 rounds ultimately, even if they pick up no more, I think it's a scoreline they're going to be happy with, but definitely felt like they were putting more into the game than I think most people expected, to be honest, and that's a credit to SKADE in map 1.
Yeah, it felt almost like SKADE were probably going to win this half, that they were going to get onto at least 7, maybe 8 or 9, and then HAVU, they just took control. In 5 rounds, it's decent, it's good enough, but you're not going to be popping open the Prosecco at half-time. I think that this one's going to be a bit of a breath of relief from HAVU. They're going to be fairly happy that they'll very likely secure double digits here. SKADE's best chance here, taking 6. I love that nade. Just allows Zori to pick inside. He even does the damage. Even has the inclination to follow it up and find Rainwaker. And that's an easy opening frag for HAVU. And putting it through at the very end of this half as well means that SKADE, they're not going to be looking to counter that at any point in the future. That's just a little final touch, kick in the teeth for HAVU as they look to secure double digits here. Molotov's going to force back that secret position for just a moment as SKADE are actually going to fairly meticulously take outside. However, HAVU, they're doing enough damage in these situations. Obviously finding that initial frag and now rocking down to 50 HP to feel very confident in this one. But there's the headshot in SKADE. Maybe not out of this round just yet.
Definitely giving themselves a little bit more fight here. But they also have 35 seconds, Squid, and this is what's going to be what makes their life a little difficult here. Is they are going to try and reverse wrap into the A site, but Saw is ready and waiting for that. I think Hoodie knows it as well. Which, well, I mean, this could work, but it's definitely a tough sell. Very much love to see Saw's point of view here. As he used the flash, so far so good. It's just perfect hold from the CT side. They've read right through SKADE. It has to be said that the read there is just impeccable. Leaves Denny 1 versus 3. He's going to give it a good go, spotting out 2 of the 3 players almost immediately. But no time on the clock. 10-5.
Yeah, that's a bit of a heartbreak. Felt like Denny might have even had a chance, but of course, for HAVU, Saw was just in the prime position there on the A-bomb site. Really shuts down the attack. It felt like SKADE had all of the parts to actually put together a really solid round there, but eventually it's the Finns to carry it through, and you see that trail of blue towards the end of this half, 6 in a row for HAVU. That's what we were talking about. SKADE, they might have taken the pistol round, but it was that trail of 3 right in the middle, rounds, I think 7, 8, and 9, which were really the stumbling block for HAVU, and then as of then, a very clean closing. I think we're going to have to wait temporarily. SKADE maybe dropping a player.
Yeah, it looks like Rain has run to the hills. Not too sure what the unfortunate situation there is, but it will pause. We'll put a bit of a pause on this match as we do wait for him to get himself back into the server here. Like you said, I think it is just a kind of that short, good stint from SKADE that had to kind of force HAVU to recover. But by the time they actually got themselves there and life was all good, you could see just how quickly they were able to build up these rounds.
10-5 is pretty much where both teams want to be sat at. I think for SKADE, 5 or 6 is probably what you're aiming for. HAVU, it's 9 or 10. And Rain's back in the server. Top fragger, don't want to lose him. As we will now get into the second half of play in this opening map of the day. Remember, an interesting best of 3 with Overpass coming next, Dust 2 the decider if we need it. What I've got to say is they're all pretty decent maps for HAVU. SKADE, I'm not so sure, but I know that Dust 2, definitely one of HAVU's favorites. Just coming into this one initially. Overpass being a 41% win rate for HAVU, so maybe not their best showing, but Dust 2 is definitely one of these, well, big clashes that we'll end with. HAVU 73 win percentage, SKADE 67. So this one might be a 3-mapper flakes.
Yeah, I think it definitely has the potential to go the full distance, but also when you look at these two teams and you look at sort of the history between them, generally it's been actually HAVU who quite comfortably got the job done. If you look back to what even the previous LOOT.BET season, I believe they played, and it was Nuke Overpass then as well, and I think that was a 16-3 and a 16-7. It's only recently we've seen that 3-mapper take effect, and I actually put that more down to the curveball of Inferno than anything else. So I'm a little hesitant here for SKADE. I do think there's potential, but it is going to rely on them bringing a very solid Overpass game. And as we can see in the past with the exact same lineups, it's been quite comfortable for HAVU. That was a 16-7, as I said. So the pressure definitely on here, I think, for SKADE ultimately to bring their A game. They're going to have to be the aggressors in this best of 3.
Yeah, and you alluded to Inferno there. It's really unfortunate that HAVU don't play Inferno at all for SKADE, because obviously it's one of their best maps. For HAVU, it's pretty much a permaban here. They really don't fancy playing it, especially in this series up against a SKADE side who love Inferno. I think they're touching above 80% win rate on it. Yeah, 79%. So they're barely ever losing it. Whereas HAVU, they're very comfortable to just ban it right out.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
I think that's probably why you see such one-sided odds. Just because of that map pool diversity between these two teams. Either way, getting into the second half, and it all starts with the secondary pistol round. It's going to be the USPSs in the hands of SKADE, or 5 of them in fact. 4 lots of Kevlar, that defuse kit picked up by Spellin. And then for HAVU, it's all Glocks with the exception of Zori, who wants to pick up this Desert Eagle. We don't often see it flakes, but he's going to be looking to put it to maximum effect.
Definitely a bit of a wild choice. See if he can give it a good go as things do get a little steamy towards ramp. In the end, it's HAVU who will take the lead here. Slowing & Co leading the charge as they plow their way down on towards this B site. Nothing SKADE can really do now apart from set up for the retake, but knowingly at a disadvantage. The one upside they've got is a kit on the back of Spellin. That allows them to take a little bit more time, be a little bit more structured about the way they want to retake this. But all 3 players coming in towards ramp, that is the recipe for, unfortunately, disaster squid. It means that HAVU should be able to just line them up and knock them down. It's like a poor game of bowling. Case and point, they get the job done. Hoodie with the double kill as well, just to add the cherry on top. 11-5, a poor start here for SKADE. That is the exact opposite, I think, of how they planned on getting into the second half.
You're right. That retake was disaster. Capital D there for SKADE. It is going to be them stuck on 5 rounds. And when you take a double-digit first half, along with the pistol round, that's really a recipe to put you forward to a quick map 2. SKADE not letting up on the pace. They're sending the SMG in first. Slowly, he's going to want to just take these corners decisively in first. He's going to look to his top left. HAVU's just sat here on hut, but it's no shotgun in hand. It's the CC75 instead. A pistol that can run out of bullets precariously quickly. He is one of the solo members here on the defense. So HAVU, as soon as they decide to pull the trigger on the A-bomb site, I'm pretty sure that the defense is going to fall apart quite quickly.
The smart thing here from HAVU as well is, although they're up against limited weaponry, they're choking the CT side out of any utility they did have. Any smokes that are in play, any flashes that they've got in their back pockets, they're all being thrown by the CT side in exchange. Not only is SKADE not getting any frags, but they're taking so much damage too. I mean, look at the CT side. Spellin 15 HP, Rocking 5 HP. Zuri just chasing Spellin down there with the Mach 10 towards our side. SKADE are basically losing all the ground they had in the round and gaining absolutely nothing here. It's really smart and well thought out play from HAVU that is just leading to quite clear and concise victory, to be honest.
Pretty
if there's
easy
any way
round, all things considered.
Maybe they can sneak an SMG out or something here, but... Well, there's your answer. Shouldn't even gotta say AK, unfortunately, which is the rough part about this. He's just forced to fight, and that means that he loses his life to the bomb. Really smart decision there from... I'm not sure who though, I think it was Rocking. Just getting caught in that duel, and because he's forced to take that fight, means that he's dropped just low enough for the bomb to finish him off. That means there's no AK saved by the CT side, which means full eco. A couple of pistols thrown in, but for the most part, a full eco. In fact, only one upgraded pistol on Rafty with a bit of Kevlar. The rest of them are just going to have the singular frag grenade.
And Doto saw that coming a mile off. You saw him just dive out of the way of those HEs flying into his position. So that's $900 down the toilet for SKADE. Really their main preliminary investment into this 18th round. The interesting scenario is going to be coming in round number 19, coming up in just a moment. Of course, there's not really much that HAVU can do, even with a CZ75 flashbang in hand. They'll be trying to set up for exit. But I think the big brain play here is to try and avoid the SMGs, not give away an extra $2,400 to the likes of the Mach 10 and the UMP. You don't want to be walking into harm's way here. There's only 15 seconds left of this round. There's no way that you're going to be able to carry this through. I'd like to see Raftu survive. I don't know if he's too close to this A-bomb site. You can see on the minimap that he's pretty much as close as it gets. I don't know what this results in. And no, he actually goes down. Rocking drops down to 0 on the back of that bomb, but another convincing round for HAVU. That replay pretty much summed up the round. Very quick stuff.
Unfortunately for SKADE here is if this buy doesn't work in round 19, pretty much game over. And it's it's a pretty stark situation, to be honest, isn't it? I mean, you're basically being told here you're going to concede 14-5, likely going to concede 15-5 as well. The hell, you'll get to probably one more buyout after this, which will be your final stand on 15-5. Not the greatest of starts too. I mean, HAVU sneaked 2 players into secret. Completely uncontested as well from SKADE.
He's even got to back off towards that B-bomb site and just try and take the fight out in the open, negotiating his way around the silo. And slowly, he's changed up his approach. He's going upstairs. They force to rotate away. Rocking somehow steals away a pair of frags. But HAVU breathing down their neck. Only need one more kill. Is Raftu somehow still alive? finally drops to the same fate, and Hoodie finds a pair of headshots. How does he manage that one? It's only Denny left, and I think that he's not got much of a chance in this one. Even misses the initial shot, gets blown out of the server also by Hoodie, who finds a quad kill there. Disgusting stuff on the A-bomb site. HAVU, I can't see any way of them not winning this first map.
Hoodie's just an absolute game changer there, isn't he? He turns around that is looking like it could well be a fledgling success here for SKADE into just another clear-cut victory for HAVU. Those headshots were disgusting. Just flicking all over the place. Beautiful play. But then you also have to look at it from a different perspective, which is SKADE did have an opportunity to find the clutch there, but then they missed the simple AWP shot, unfortunately. You only get one chance to make that shot connect. You miss, I think, a very simple frag. There's no way you're ever going to get to repeak, which is what we saw. The minute he repeaks, immediately cut down. So it's definitely on SKADE here to take advantage of these opportunities when they're given them, and they just don't seem to be able to do that here on Nuke. No surprise to see it 14-5, given how things have played out so far. I have a feeling we're going to see this one locked up relatively quickly, and we're going to be looking to map 2 to see some improvement from our CT side.
In the words of JLS Flakes, you only get one shot, so make it count. You may never get this moment again. 14-5 on the board. HAVU are just an inch away from victory here, and Zori even picking up the first frag.
Yeah, this is looking pretty cut and dry. Rocking is desperately going to hold on, but he'll be taken down through the wall. Mr. Molly just nips at his heels, leaves Raftu to try and hold on, and well, he'll do a good job so far, at least finding the singular pick on Zuri as he tries to work through door, but a real tough position for SKADE to work their way out of, as they're actually going to concede a whole bunch of map control here too. The Raftu just searching for opportunities, Rain doing the same, and all that results in is just more picks being given up. HAVU, this should be an easy 15-5, and from there we should be looking at game.
Yeah, this hasn't been the most interesting of opening maps. This does really just look like a team with 67 win percentage against a team with 16 win percentage. That's really what it's panned out to be. SKADE seemed a little bit competitive at the start. That's the sad affair. And the fact that this looked close and HAVU have been able to just close it out ever since. Remember, this scoreline was 5-5 in Flakes. HAVU have just taken a chain of 10 rounds on the trot, and they've really just been rinsing both SKADE's T side and now their CT side as well. SKADE, remember, they haven't picked up a single defensive round of this half, albeit it's not been very long. It's just been 5 out of 5 for the HAVU side. However, looks to be 6 out of 6 as SKADE barely have any money. It's not going to be the cleanest of buys. It's going to be a pretty garbage buy, in fact. Rocking only picking up the single M4 on their side. The FAMAS comes out from Rainwaker. Everybody else with SMGs or the Scouts.
And you see HAVU just playing this one very smart as well. Literally just taking the immediate duel in towards Secret, winning it as well, getting just so much map control for free. Thanks to the CT side, and you can see the utility usage as well from them is just working wonders. Spelling, he's completely oblivious to what is going on. Nothing's been communicated there from his teammates. It's just death and destruction. There is no way SKADE are going to fight on Nuke here. They don't have the cohesion to be able to deal with HAVU. I mean, literally, they didn't communicate at all what was going on outside. That is just rookie mistakes 101 there.
Easy pickings, perhaps. Denny, a 1 versus 4. Getting a glorious angle there. Over in Vents. Could have been a 1 reception, but apparently not. Denny's even been spotted out in the open. He misses the shot, and that might be the last that he takes in this matchup. 16-5 here on the opening map of the day is HAVU. A very convincing one-sided series, as they're about to take us through to Overpass in just a few moments. Of course, a very, very one-sided series here on Nuke. It was their pickup. But of course, I think Overpass is probably going to be a bit of a silver lining for SKADE. A much better map for them. They've got years and years of experience on it.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.